There were 7 finalists in the final round of Oratorical Declamation. In 7th place, from Hinsdale, South, Sophia Guerrero. In 6th place, from Wheaton, Warrenville, South, Marina Bello. In 5th place, from Downers Grove South, Zoe Boyd. Fourth place in deck, from Marion, Caitlin McGarry. Third place in Oratorical Declamation, from Revis, Oswaldo Ocampo. Your tournament runner-up in Declamation, from Olympia, Grace Melick. And your tournament champion from Belleville West, Jalen Mutchison. Please welcome your state champion in Oratorical Declamation, Jalen Mutchison.
I did everything I was supposed to do. You know, I went to high school, I got good grades, I got a great job with job stability while working for the government. And if you don't know that much about the government, it's that you literally can't get fired. Like, trust me, there are people that should be. Everything about my job was fantastic, except for one small, kind of important thing. I was miserable. I was miserable and stuck in a quarter-life crisis. And, well, to be honest, I really didn't know how to get out. A wise man once said, if you hate your job, quit it. Okay, I said that. We all grew up hearing the same cliches, like the great Confucius quote, choose a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, a lot of people didn't listen. They followed paths that were time-consuming and stressful, leaving them no time for the things that they loved doing most. Well, in this speech, performed at a TEDx event for young people, Smiley Poswilowski reminds us that just because we chose the wrong path doesn't mean it's too late. And again, like the great Confucius said, choose a job you love, and you know what, Confucius? It's 2020. Time to try something different. If you have a dream, you have a job. Okay, I said that one too. Refusing to Settle, The Quarter-Life Crisis by Adam Smiley Poswilowski. So I started spending an unhealthy amount of time on Facebook overdosing on FOMO, which is basically fear of missing out, and I would compare myself to my friends and what they were doing. So, for example, I had this one friend who just became a teacher for a charter school. And I'm like, hey, maybe I should be a teacher for a charter school. And I had this one friend, right, who just opened up a food truck. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to get me a food truck. Even though I can't drive and I am a terrible cook. And I had this one friend, great guy, and he was about to get married at sunset in front of Machu Picchu. And I'm like, okay, this dude got it all figured out, right? Like, he has this great job, he's about to get married, he's at Machu Picchu. I'm like, I hate my job, I hate my life, shoot, I can't even get a match on Tinder, so. But it wasn't until I met other young people like me going through the exact same thing, could I turn my quarter-life crisis into a breakthrough? And I learned a few lessons on the way to avoid this and to find true meaning in your work. The first thing I learned, find believers. Find those people that believe in you and believe in dreams. Because I'll tell you something. When I used to live in D.C., I came back home to my roommate, Dan. And I'd be like, Dan, I hate my job. I hate what I'm doing. I want to go to San Francisco. I want to start being creative. And that man would just laugh in my face, or clap his hands slow and say, suck it up, Smiley. Everybody hates their job. It's part of life. And I'm like, dang, man. You know, that's kind of harsh. But the reality is, a lot of people think just like Dan. 75% of people feel disengaged in their jobs. And that basically means that they're being paid money to screw over their work. And yes, I know that sounds like a luxury, but trust me, it's not. And I don't know, I guess I was afraid of spending, the next 40 years of my life feeling depressed because I was doing something that I absolutely hated. But then I found my believers. And when I told them my story, they were like, whoa, you want to go to San Francisco? You want to start being creative? Do it. It's your ode to the world. Because something crazy happens when you find believers, right? You find accountability. Next, stop comparing yourself to others and find what's meaningful to you. That guy at Machu Picchu, a few weeks later I interviewed him. And I said, hey, man, you got this great job. You're about to get married and, you're at Machu Picchu. What's the secret? And I'll never forget, he looks at me, looks down and says, you know what? After years and years of schooling, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, I'm depressed. And if it wasn't for my wife to stop me last year, I would have committed suicide. But now he's going back to school to become a history teacher because that's what he loves to do. And you know what? That's the beauty of it, right? Like, no one knows what they're doing. No two people can tell you what to do. There's not just some definition that everybody follows. I can't tell you what's good for you. Shoot, I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. But we have to find it. And finally, when you do find it, work hard because no one wants your dream more than you do. A lot of people like to call our generation lazy. You know what I'm saying? The lazy generation. But it's like, lazy, okay. Since college, I've been working for 10 years straight, and I still owe Sally Mae, $10,000? So, Sally Mae, if I catch you on Tinder, swiping left. A lot of people hear my story, and they're like, you know what, man? You're right. I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. I'm out. Peace. And I'm like, no. You don't got to quit your job tomorrow. That's not my message at all. I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you find meaning in your work, you inspire so many other people to do the same, not just inside the room, but everywhere, and that is so important. So yeah, they can call us idealistic. You can call me idealistic. My name is Smiley. But we are not the lazy generation. We have a purpose generation, and we will find meaning in our work because we have to. The problems in our world are simply too important for us to go through a high school life crisis, a quarter life crisis, and any life crisis. Your job, your dream, you can change our world. So find it.